I'm Jon McCurley. I'm an artist from Canada. My project is called Monsters of the World. It's a suite of projects. So one part is called Taste Test. And the second part is a performance with costumes that's called Recreation of a Sighting of Blemmyes in Paradise. As an artist in Canada, I think somehow the work I make deals with identity. And I have a strange position because I'm Irish-Vietnamese and I live in Toronto. And so I try to make work about my identity or connection to identity, but it's like erased in many ways. My parents actually met working for Cadbury's. And talking to them, I got the nuts and bolts of actually what they did, which is working for a very successful food company. And so maybe when you work for a big company like that, things are a little bit dull. But one part that's a little bit fun was to actually have to sit around and taste chocolate, do a taste test and eat chocolate. And it's part of the quality control experience. So the idea of the taste test was that I brought chocolate from Canada and then I bought chocolate here, and you could eat it and try to decipher the minute differences in flavor. And then beside that was the chocolate that I made that has the texture of chocolate because it uses coberine, which is the ingredient invented by Cadbury's. So what I made was something that's like a joke bar that serves the purpose of being an art multiple, but also you can trick somebody with it. If somebody eats this chocolate bar, it doesn't taste good. We had a raffle where you can win a chocolate courtroom that was dressed up as like a gift basket, and it worked. When I got in the Uber on the way there, the Uber driver was really excited about these things you could win, and they looked real. To anyone who looks at it like, oh my God, I want to win it. So the other part of the project is called a recreation of a sighting of Blemmyes in Paradise. The Blemmyes are this monster. I think it first showed up in 2000 BC in an Indian myth with Rama. It's like one of Rama's stories, and then that was the first idea of like a monster with no head and its face in the middle of its body, but it was blue and it's completely different. It's a demon. And then it showed up in ancient Greece in records of all these ancient stories. And then what's interesting to me is that this monster kind of stood out from that era of monsters, and it continued through 2,000 years, all through the development of Europe as being this power. And as right into the Renaissance, that this monster continued to keep popping up as being real. And it was kind of misused from its origins in Greek myth, and it became this bizarre idea of the monster that lives beyond the known land. And then I realized that this monster is like this outsider monster. It's this monster that supposedly lived in all parts of the planet. So they were seen wherever European explorers would go. They're seen everywhere. So everywhere that they'd go, they'd be like, this is where they are. This is where we think they are. And as map making and the concept of the world became this navigatable thing, these monsters were always there. They were always outside. The performance is supposed to be an experience of I'm recreating the sighting of the monsters in Paradise. So it's a recreation of a lie, which is someone came around a corner and then they found a beautiful space where they actually saw these things walking around and living in their society. So the experience to the audience is that you walk into this beautiful park and the monsters are spread out over the whole space, and they're minding their own business. They're in all different corners of the space. They're hanging out around ancient ruins. They're hanging out around abandoned, broken buildings and things like that. And the audience is supposed to see them as if you've come upon them. So it's not that you interact with them, that they're going to talk to you or react to you, but you've entered some kind of fantasy space, and you can see them over there. I can't believe I saw them. It's something like seeing Sasquatch, or it's something like seeing deer running around in a forest. It's that you're tracking, and then, oh my God, I saw it. And I thought that was interesting because coming from Canada, like, what authority do I have on any space? I'm not from Birmingham. I'm not from here. My father's English. But that's not me. I can't really speak for anything like that. Or, like, what story can I actually tell? And I thought this was interesting because the Blemmyes only existed in the imagination of European people. So it's something that does belong here, and it does belong in the brains of people that live here, or in the brains of the ancestors of people that live here. It's this idea that lives in people's imagination, like, well, maybe someone walked into a forest and then this is what they saw. And so it's a recreation of that piece of imagination.